Alright, so this is how to make gains in the gym, and not just going there and spinning your wheels and being, inconsistent effort and not getting consistent results and being kind of making some progress and then kind of stagnating and kind of being wishy-washy. This is how to, if you're doing all of these steps in this video, you will be making consistent progress over the long term and you'll reach your physique goals. So yeah, if you're missing one of these things, it's going to be very difficult, so make sure you have these all checked off. The first one is, this is something I did right when I first started lifting, is making sure your form is very good. You want to prioritize your form on every exercise and understand the right muscle pathway and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm wording that right, but the right form basically. It's pretty simple. So for the bench press, you want to learn how to do that so you're not going to injure yourself. So you're actually getting the right muscle activation, and you can just go in the gym and then when you get to an exercise, just pull up YouTube and maybe you could do this for one exercise per workout or something like that. You just pull up a YouTube video of perfect form for the bicep curl or easy bar bicep curl or something like that. And then you just focus on that piece of form and try to get the perfect form for the exercise without increasing weight or without increasing reps, because you do need to progressive overload, which is the next one. But you have to do the form correctly while you're progressively overloading, otherwise you're kind of just not really going to make the same amount of gains even if you're lifting more weight. So yeah, progressive overload is also important. This is something I was kind of doing wrong for a couple months. I stopped tracking my lifts on my notes app. So I didn't realize that I was just doing the same weight for 4 months and I didn't really make any gains, because if you're not challenging your body and you're not really going to failure, then you're not really going to be making or having enough muscle stimulus to force your body to grow muscle. So you have to go in the gym and have what I recommend is, I'll just show you, but what I recommend is just having whatever your workout is, like this. I don't know if it'll focus. You can probably see that. So it's basically just having your workout on a notes app and then just writing, a checklist of all the exercises you have to do, and then next to it you write the weight and the sets and the reps and everything like that. And then every day you try to increase the reps by 1 or increase the weight depending on your rep range and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty simple. The next thing is making sure whatever plan you're doing, whatever workout plan you have, targets each muscle group 8 to 10 times per week. Just in the studies, it always says target each muscle group, make sure it's being hit 8 to 10 sets per week. So if that's I do a full body split, right? So for example, let's say quads or something. It's the muscle we're gonna choose. So we're doing squats on Monday, right? And that's 3 sets of squats. So that's 3 sets of squats, three sets on the quads, and then on Wednesday it's gonna be leg press. So then that's 3 sets of leg press, 6 sets on the quads throughout the week. Friday is squats again, so that's 9. That falls between 8 and 10, so perfect, that works. And I do that for every muscle group, so it's the perfect stimulus. And I think something you'll see is a shift from the day split, Monday bicep, Tuesday back, whatever, to push pull legs, to upper lower, to full body. I think everything's gonna start shifting towards full body and upper lower. It's gonna start, because it's better. It's just better. I don't know. That's just I could be wrong, but that's just my hypothesis for how this stuff is gonna work in the fitness community. Yeah. The next thing is, when you're I recommend just going to failure, because like I said, if you're constantly increasing the reps and stuff like that, but if you're not, that helps. Progressive overload, increasing the reps helps. But if you're way under your failure, then it's not really gonna help. So you need to be within 1 to 3 reps of failure. But I recommend just going all the way to failure, because you don't really know, and studies have shown that you actually underestimate your your like gauge of failure, if that makes sense. So like even experienced lifters will be 2 to 3 reps off their actual failure, what they think is failure, when they did the studies. So yeah, you definitely need to understand that very clearly if you're gonna go off not failure, if that makes sense. So I recommend just going to failure on most things, or very close to failure, or at least going to failure on some exercise and some sets so you actually know what it feels like and you're able to accurately gauge it. Right. So the next thing is your diet, because we've covered like most of the training things. If you have all those things for training, you should be pretty much good. There's a few like minor things like the exercise selection and things like that. But if you have your training and your diet, those are like the two main things. So we've covered most of the training things. The next thing is diet, because if you're not eating the right amount of food, then you're not really going to make muscle, because it's just like you need both of them. So the things that have helped me for this are having an app where you can calculate the amount of calories you're eating. So it's like MyFitnessPal chronometer, and you basically have the meals that you normally eat in a week or in a day. You put those in the app, and then every morning for breakfast, let's say you had egg tacos, and then you click the check, and then it'll put it in for your breakfast. For lunch, you put another thing, and basically you try to get to whatever your calorie goal is. You can search a calorie calculator if you need to see what that is. Some of those are kind of shitty, but like it'll give you kind of a ballpark if you do it right. I don't know if those are super helpful, but yeah, for me I usually eat like between 3,000 and 3,500. Right now I'm doing like 3,200, but next week I'm gonna do 3,300. So yeah, it's like segues perfectly into the next point of this, which is when you're trying to increase your appetite and increase the amount of food you can eat, especially as like a skinny guy or someone who's getting used to eating more, is okay, have your maintenance. So let's say you eat 2,800 calories a day. You've been tracking it and you use the apps, and you know that you usually eat 2,800 calories a day. You could go from 2,800 calories to 3,500 calories. You could try that, but it's probably not going to work very well because your body's not used to it, and it's just going to like compensate and make it just terrible for you. So the way to actually do that without having consequences is to slowly increase the calories. So by 100 a week is good. Like the past couple weeks, I started with 3,000 calories. So I made sure I was eating 3,000 calories for 7 days. Then the next week, I would eat 3,100. Last week I ate 3,200. This next week I'm eating 3,300. So yeah, that works. If you have any other specific questions, coaching is down below. And yeah, I can teach you all the mistakes I made in lifting, tailored to your very specific needs, and any help with addiction, anything like that. Yeah, coaching is down below. So have a good one. Peace.